right? This cannot be tainted. This cannot be manipulated. This cannot be misused. At least to me. I don't know. I don't even know if you have a symbol that you can use to reach towards unconditioned consciousness. Do you even have a symbol that you can reach towards? Now, I also have to say, you know, that's a concept that was really fleshed out in Initiation into Hermetics. Towards the very end of Initiation into Hermetics, there's an exercise where you choose a symbol to be your symbol of deification. Not to have and create a god to worship, but to have a symbol that you can utilize to tap into the highest essence possible, right? You can't even do this unless you have a symbol to hold. This is what the symbols and the forms and the mythologies and the gods are about. Not so that you can have something to worship, but so that you can have a image or a form or a symbol that you can use to personally tap into your highest cognitive essence. That's why we're given religion and mythologies, not to be a slave to some symbol, but to have something that we can use as a tool to reach towards higher consciousness. You can't do that unless you have something to reach with, right? Now, essentially, once you reach it, the goal is to go beyond it, so you don't need it anymore. But I have a symbol that I utilize to represent the pure, unconditioned consciousness, and I use that symbol to help me tap in. Do you have a symbol? Some people use Christ. That's easy. That was given to us. Some people use Christ as that tool to tap into God. That's what he's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to represent. That's what Tifereth represents. Tifereth is on the middle pillar because it represents the pathway to Kether. Tifereth is what gets you across Doth. And you'll start to see why the left-hand path or the right-hand path doesn't make it up there. Because in the left-hand path, you're deifying yourself. And you're not going to be able to do that successfully unless you're able to really break down what's going on in your unconscious mind. Right? Because if you have a physical body, you got a bunch of bullshit in there. We all do. So to be able to deify that, you're going to have to really do some maneuvering. Right? You're really going to have to be agile and flexible. Because most people aren't going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to deify your bullshit and survive. Because if you deify your bullshit, you're going to end up like Wanda in the new Doctor Strange movie. She deified her bullshit, and she became not even the Scarlet Witch. She became a force to be reckoned with. She became a super cosmic force. We weren't dealing with the Scarlet Witch. We were dealing with a regular human woman who had taken the left-hand path 100%, and still had a bunch of shadows in her basement that weren't neutralized. So those shadows were a form that force was able to use to tap into her. That's the left-hand path. On the right-hand path, the opposite happens. You become attached to the form that you use to represent your deity. You become attached to the Jesus. You become attached to the Muhammad or the religion as itself. You become attached to Scientology. You become attached to the Nation of Islam. You become attached to melanin. You become attached to the actual form, and you never transcend the form. That's why the right-hand path doesn't connect. But on the middle path, you connect with the Christ consciousness. You connect with the deity, the symbol, and through consistent work, you have the very real possibility to transcend that symbol and not even become the symbol, but erase everything that you think you are and realize what you've always been is that symbol. So look, here's the difference. In the middle path, you're not deifying yourself, and you're not deifying some external thing. You're realizing that there is only deity. You realize that there's only deity. So what happens is this inverse mirror of objective reality and subjective reality becomes a clear mirror, and it begins to reflect itself clearly because you realize that there is no difference. I can't say it any clearer. I can't. You literally have to read this stuff and meditate on it yourself. Like, past this point, I can't give you anything else. Past this point, I cannot give it to you anymore.